That's so bad. Hey, good morning. Welcome to yet one more episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Yes, hey, I made it. I made it. Um, I made it back. Hey, good morning. Um, looks like we're going. Looks like everything is cool, good to go. Happy, good morning. It's a little bit early, right? But look at, I woke up like, I woke up. So here I am. Here I am, the one that you love. All right. Let's see. Yeah, yo, I just got back from a long trip. I drove down to Carson City, Nevada, on Monday, and did some work on my mom's house, and then I stopped by Reno real quick, and I came home. I learned bad news. I learned some sad news. Um, Lawrence Yarbrough from Reno, Nevada, has died, and I didn't know. I found out like when I went to go visit him, and yeah, and he wasn't there, which like yeah makes me real sad because like I had like amazing experiences related to Mr. Lawrence Yarbrough. Like he was an amazing artist, and he like believed in me. He believed in me enough to like introduce me to his contacts and to involve me in his artistic projects. Like I really loved the guy. I really loved him, and I wanted to see him, and like I wanted him to do well, and like make sure that he was okay. And like the last time I saw him, which was years ago, his environment was not very healthy, and I was upset that I couldn't stay to 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 make changes to his environment to make things better. And so I was hoping that maybe like I could come back and do something. But alas, I was too late. So yeah, let me tell you about Mr. Lawrence Yarbrough. Like the things like he was my neighbor in the Riverside Artists Lofts, like in the aughts, like when I lived there. He was like literally my next door neighbor, and we talked, and like he was cool. He was a great guy, and but I was young, like I was real young, and I didn't understand how young I was, and he did. He knew how young I was, so he called me kid, and it made me angry. so, uh, so anyways, um, one time I was like really trying to hook up with like women all the time. I mean, I was like dedicated to finding like just women, not multiple women. I was just trying to find one, like one awesome one to hang out with, but like I couldn't really do it. So that's the way it is. Anyways, in my adventures of trying to obtain to meet this person, I I I met I saw this one young woman. I was really attractive. I was like totally like talking to her, right? And then like I was all talking to her, and then in walks her boyfriend. But I wasn't gonna like lose face and back down. I was like, all right, cool. What's up, boyfriend? And so we started talking to him too, and we got into like a intellectual sparring match. And I'm like, oh yeah, I happen to live upstairs in this amazing apartment building, and like let me invite you for dinner. And they're like, okay. So, and she was Japanese. I think that's why I was all into it because she was Japanese, and I was like, this is before I went to Japan. I was still curious about it. So I invited these people up, these random strangers, this random couple up to my apartment, um, to have intellectual conversations. Uh, sure, that's it. but like we're gonna eat dinner, right? And so I was gonna cook dinner. I had all the ingredients and stuff, but I'm not much of a cook or whatever. But Lawrence, my neighbor, offered to cook for me. And I'm like, great. And so Lawrence makes this amazing steak and vegetable stir fry with a wok. My wok. It was amazing. It was awesome. And we sat down and it was beautifully presented and everything. He was great at preparing it. But he used my stuff, and the oil he used, which was my oil, was rancid. And I didn't know oil could go bad. So he used it, and when he made the meal, and all three of us had food poisoning, and we're like taking turns like going to the bathroom while having like we were on we had well, I don't know how to say this. We were not in the normal state of mind, all three of us. And so while we were having these like bowel evacuations nonstop, we were also having these intense intellectual discussions while being while being fun guys. I was a fun guy. that like, wow. it was like, yeah. But Lawrence was part of that memory. He was in there, and like just one tiny little one of like many adventures. He's the one who introduced me, taught me a lot about like any of the black culture that I know. I didn't know anything about black culture. I didn't know anything, and Lawrence like was gracious enough to introduce me to people, and like everyone he introduced me to was cool, and they taught me something, and like, but like, yeah, I was like an alien. I had no idea what was going on most of the time. So I'm sad that I did not get to go see Lawrence again. Because I don't know. I think when he first saw me, the last time he saw me, he thought I was an alt-righter. Like, and I don't know why he would think that. I tried to show him my show, but like his computer was all messed up. I don't think I even did my show, or I was just starting my show at that point. So it wasn't very good yet. I mean, it's not very good now, but anyways, I had a poetry slam in my apartment, and he was like the bartender for the poetry slam in my apartment that I held. It was awesome. But my apartment's tiny, so there was like literally no room. Like standing in the yeah, there was like no room. But we managed to make a little booth using my empty closet. So it was a joke that he was like, "Oh, look, I'm back in the closet." It was like a joke. Like, oh my god, it was funny. But yeah, we had a poetry slam in my apartment. He was part of it. He did this thing called Drum the Art Epic, and I was part of that too. The poster was cool. Poster was made by like another neighbor, like what's his name? Not Zoltan. It was made by Zoltan. The poster. Yeah, that was great. I was in that too. Oh man, Lawrence was prolific. He was all over the place. He always took care of people. He was always taking care of people. And that's why I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to take care of him a bit, to see what I could do to help out. Like, because, back then I was like a poor kid. Like, I couldn't really afford to do anything. And I didn't really have the consciousness really, or the connections, or the strength, or the anything. But I'm like, now I'm strong enough. I can help you out. And I'm like, oh, wait, you're gone. Damn. And I didn't know how to handle it. I don't know. I just like went home. I couldn't handle it. I don't know. A lot of things. He taught me about film. A lot about film. Like, I had no idea. He sat me down and made me watch Casablanca. That's funny. Yeah. So okay, Lawrence Yarbrough, he was cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue. I'm tired. I drove literally. I probably covered the distance as quick as you possibly could. Between Reno and Salem, I think it took like 7.5 hours. Like I stopped only to get gas, and that was it. Once to get gas. No food, no no bio, no nothing. Need a bed. I need to sleep. And so yeah, I got home and I crashed. It was kind of funny. And so now I'm back and I'm like, hey, I'm awake because my cats woke me up at like 5 in the morning to get fed. It sucked. Um, and so here I am. Yay! I decided, hey, let's make a show. Um, and I didn't like. I've been gone for a week. I was in Nevada taking care of like house stuff and like hauling trash and cutting down rose thorn bushes and stuff. And I didn't really keep up on the news. I heard they didn't indict Meadows, but they did indict Navarro. Um, and everyone is concerned that Attorney General Merrick Garland is not up to the task of defending democracy because he's more concerned about the institution than he is about getting the bad guys and saving democracy. But I'm not really all that well versed in it, so I can't really say if that's the case or not. Because there's other people I respect who say no, things are going exactly the pace they need to go, and that if you're like you can't rush things, otherwise like they're going as fast as they can go, and that Merrick Garland is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. So it depends on who you believe. I don't know. Um, uh, but the thing is that if I believe that, okay, there's one school of people that says, how am I gonna do this? There's one school of people that says, that one. Meadows isn't being charged with contempt because there's other things to charge him with that are bigger and more important and easier to prove. And if you charge him with contempt, then you're going to mess up everything else. That's one school of thought. The other school is to say that Merrick Garland himself is corrupt. And if I go there, then I don't know what to do. I can't really go there because that's just I don't know what to do. And it hasn't happened yet. So like the 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 people involved in the coup, I mean like the election hasn't happened yet. So they're still like, they're still there trying to, make the coup happen. And they will continue to do so until Merrick Garland does something, right? So he has until what, October, September. He has until September to arrest these people and to like lay it out there and get ready because Donald Trump is gearing up his people for a civil war. Now you have to remember, white supremacists have like their own like conspiracy theory, the myth, like You can remember how in Dune the Bene Gesserit go around to like primitive civilizations, and they drop the prerequisites of religion in the society, so that in the primitive society, and they seed it, and so it stays in there, so that when they come back in the future time and they need to like take control or get the society to do something, they can use the old myths, as a way to like to say, oh, the prophecy is coming true or whatever, and then get the people to go along with it. And that so that's in like a book, but like it kind of works. No, let's see. Kind of works. What was I talking about? Man, see, I'm trying to do too many things at once. It kind of works with something's not right. Bottom here. No, because then it connects. I want it to be one lower, dude. There we go, like that. No, see, look at here. Yes, perfect. Why was that so hard to do? Let's see, Enderman. What's up? Giving me the evil eye? Where'd you go, evil man? Come on, let's go, buddy. Mr. Enderman. Mr. Enderman. Ah. I haven't played video games in a while, so I'm like all like not quite there. Where'd he go? Just looking left. Okay, I started talking about the Bene Gesserit seeding ideas into the populace. Oh yeah, the Turner Diaries. Okay, so white supremacists have a similar thing, and they have like a mythos seeded into the white supremacist ideology. That the mythos is called the Turner Diaries, and in this mythos, it calls for a race war in the United States. So this is the pretty much the plan that they're looking for to make it happen. The white supremacists want a race war, and they're looking for like like holy signs or whatever that show the coming of the race war. And yeah, they're crazy. They're Nazis, right? Of course, they're white supremacists. That's why they believe in the Turner Diaries, because they're Nazis. Because the Turner Diaries make it difficult to deal with gun control. Because the Turner Diaries can't happen. Well, the Turner Diaries is to make a race war. That's the purpose of the Turner Diaries. It's not to protect people. It's not to help the United States. The purpose of the Turner Diaries is to start a race war. That's what they want. So they created a mythos around gun control, saying if you touch gun control, it means it's the start of the race war. Oh. Like in order to like trick the population into like going along with it. Like just like the Bene Gesserits like seed beliefs into a society ahead of time so that they can come along later on and then manipulate that society using those preceded beliefs. If you're a white supremacist and you're already predisposed to believe that any kind of gun control is the beginning of the race war, like you're gonna like I don't know. I guess you would be all about it, but they're not. I don't know. I don't get it. Like they don't want gun control. I don't get it. Well, that's because gun control is related to white supremacy. So that's why white supremacists don't want gun control. I should have been doing it this way. So yeah, okay. Don't want gun control. And so in the Turner Diaries, what it says is that as gun control comes into effect, white supremacists just go on the rampage and kill everyone, take over the United States, and then use nuclear missiles to nuke the rest of the non-white people, and then create a white utopia for all the white people who live in the post-apocalypse. That's what it really is about. That they really they really follow that kind of stuff. They really believe in that stuff. And in a way, it's kind of being played out in Russia because Vladimir Putin is like threatening nuclear war. But and white supremacists and Vladimir Putin are on the same team. Yes, they are. No idea what's happening here. I gotta chop this tree down. The tree must go. All right. So let's look at stuff. Let's look at stuff. What stuff do I have to look at? Um, police killings by country. Police killings by country. This is from worldpopulationreview.com. Police killings by country. It goes through, it's got Venezuela, El Salvador, Syria, Philippines, Nicaragua, Jamaica, Tobago, Brazil, Bahamas, whatever, Afghanistan, Guyana, Dominican Republic, South Africa, African Republic, Lesthos, Burkina Faso, St. Lucia, Dominican Republic in Congo, Iraq, Nigeria, Kenya, Honduras, Iran, Burundi, Uganda, Angola, Colombia, Mali, Sudan, Rwanda, Mexico, United States. So wow, we're better than a bunch of like countries that have nowhere near the GDP that we do. Isn't the United States supposed to be one of the wealthiest countries in the entire world? How come the police kill so many people? Like, look at your company. You're in the same company as with like nations that have like nowhere near the amount of wealth that you do. How come you kill so many people? Bangladesh, Pakistan, Argentina, Egypt, Malta, Luxembourg. There's our first European nation, Luxembourg. India, yeah, but Luxembourg's got like how many people? Like hardly anyone there. And then India, Canada. Ah, there you go. Belgium, France. There's our next European. Well, Belgium, France. That's our European nations. Yep. Indonesia, Netherlands. There's another one. Tiny New Zealand, Norway. Oh, there it is down here. Okay. So the police, like, we're not doing so good, is what I'm saying, in terms of the number of people the police kill in terms of the rest of the world. The police kill people a lot in our country. What is this? Oh yeah. So Steve Bannon, that guy is a Nazi, and the words he's using here, these are all like war words. They're war words. The dude's calling for war, right? He's all cadres, vanguards. We saddle up this week. So remember, the fascists have a shadow army. The people he's talking to have no concept of what's really going on. They believe in a completely alternate reality. They're gearing up to um to create an entirely alternate form of viewing during the hearings, because you know what's coming up. We're gonna have hearings about the coup attempt, and we're gonna lay out all. I think it's gonna lay out all the reasons why Donald Trump and his people need to be arrested. So I think we're getting the country ready I hope we're getting the country ready for some law enforcement action against Donald Trump and his co-conspirators. I hope that's what's happening. But Donald Trump is trying to counter program. He is going to create an entirely alternate narrative about stuff that has no connection to reality. I think they're going to talk about Hunter Biden. I think that's their alternate reality, is Hunter Biden. So instead of watching the news hearings and the government hearings about how Donald Trump attempted to overthrow the United States, those people, his followers, are going to watch an alternate program that tells a totally fictitious story that's not at all based in reality, so that when Donald Trump is arrested, those people will not have the requisite understanding to know why Donald Trump is being arrested, because they just listened to the Hunter Biden thing. They won't have any context. So to them, they'll just see Donald Trump be arrested, and they won't understand why. And rather than find out why, they have been given a fake narrative. The fake narrative is going to be that it's a coup attempt, and that they need to fight back violently. Because remember, it's a shadow army he's cultivating with this fake narrative. Like, that's how they did it with the Russian-speaking separatists in the Donbass. They just confused the Putin confused all the people. And yeah, it made it easy to take over. So that's what the Republicans are going to do here. They're going to try to confuse the people in order for their coup attempt to succeed, because that's what they need to happen. The coup plotters need this investigation to totally fail. They don't want the American people to know what's going on. So they're calling their shadow army to get ready to create a counter narrative to what's going on. And what's going on? Republicans are trying to overthrow the United States and depose of democracy, because Republicans cannot hold power in democracy. because they're not because they're Republicans, but because of their policies. Their policies are anti-democratic, and they only hold power through illegitimate means, through vote suppression. That's it. They only hold power through vote suppression. I heard of a very good idea recently that we should abolish the Senate and then expand the size of the House. Because if you look, the House is the only chamber that passes bills. The Senate is paralyzed constantly. And you would think, well, how can we fix the Senate so it's not paralyzed? Well, there is no way, because the Senate is not responsive to the people. The way the Senate is designed is it's an anti-democratic institution. It's anti-democratic. It is not based on the will of the people. It's based on the elites, because of the nature of the Senate. Everyone gets 2 votes regardless of your population size. So that gives people in Iowa insane power over the people in California. Fewer people have a huge say because of that. Let's see. I need to fix the filter here. Okay. 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 Like, if we just get rid of the Senate and only keep the House of Representatives, and then expand the House of Representatives so that it's huge, and we get rid of gerrymandering. Like, we can't have gerrymandering. If you get rid of gerrymandering and only have the House, then it would be a representative government, and legislation would come. Because right now, the majority of people support gun control legislation, but we can't pass it because a few senators don't want it to happen. So when a government is no longer responsive to its people, does it really have legitimacy anymore? Since it derives its power from the people, if it no longer represents the people, does it have power? Should it have power? The Senate doesn't represent the people of the United States. It doesn't represent the United States. We, the people, represent the United States because we are the United States. However, we can say all these things, but the Senate hears us and does the opposite. It doesn't care what the people want. So the problem isn't that the people are wrong. It's that the Senate needs to go. Because the people aren't wrong. Look at the House. The House is always passing bills. It's always moving. It's always responding to the moment. But the Senate doesn't do anything. It's gridlocked. Why is it gridlocked? Why is it stuck? Because that's the nature of the Senate, to be anti-democratic. And if a minority party doesn't want something to happen, the minority party will make sure it doesn't happen. So Republicans have blocked all common sense gun control. Now I hear the Democrats are thinking about putting 1,000% tax on the purchase of guns, because they can do so through reconciliation, and they don't need the filibuster. You can't filibuster it because it's a budget thing. That's how they're going to pass Build Back Better. But then Joe Manchin said no, he doesn't want to. So Joe Manchin kind of killed that one. So since they can't use it to pass Build Back Better, they might use it to pass a gun ban, and they can't pass a gun ban, so they'll pass like $1,000, like a big fat tax on it, so that you can't really afford it. It's essentially banned unless you're super rich, and it might work that way, because that's the kind of freedom that Elon Musk likes. He likes freedom for rich people. It's like, if you're free, you can do whatever you want. Those poors, they can't afford the gun tax, but I'm rich, so I can afford it. Well, really, honestly, no one should have guns. But since we can't do that because the minority party is stopping the will of the United States from happening, we're gonna have to use a roundabout way of banning guns. And the only way we can do that is by denying poor people, because there's a whole lot more poor people than there are rich people. But now you leave yourself open to saying, oh, this is an unfair attack against poor people. What can you do? The Senate is not responsive to the people. The Senate is not responsive. The Senate is broken. And the Senate is broken, and the Supreme Court is corrupt. And we know this. We know it's corrupt. Kennedy retired out of a deal with Bush, or not Bush, with Trump. Kavanaugh is a rapist who didn't get a proper investigation. Amy Coney Barrett is not qualified, and she's a Christian fundamentalist who's not qualified. Scalia is just a fascist. Clarence Thomas is also an insurrectionist who's trying to overthrow the United States. He shouldn't be there, and a rapist. He shouldn't be there. John Roberts was selected to be Chief Justice by a guy who was selected by the Supreme Court to be president. Who did I miss? Gorsuch shouldn't be there because he's only there because McConnell shrunk the size of the court. So Obama was denied. Kavanaugh, Barrett, dude, like, the Supreme Court is broken. It's illegitimate right now. It's illegitimate. So we have a broken Supreme Court, a broken Senate. Yeah, did you hear what the Supreme Court did? It passed, or it ruled that if you get evidence after a trial that proves that you're innocent, it's too late. Even if they prove you're innocent, you still have to be put to death. Because you were found guilty. Even if you later on there's evidence of your innocence. So if a jury finds you guilty of mass murder and of killing 25 kids, and you say you didn't do it, but they say you did, and you're sentenced to death, and then later on a video comes out of you at a casino 20 miles away at the time of the killing, so there's no way you could have done it because you were there at the casino, you still will be put to death by the conservative Supreme Court, because it was too late. you may be innocent, but the court found you guilty, so you must die. Right? That court doesn't serve the people. It doesn't serve truth, doesn't serve justice. It's illegitimate. The Senate does not serve the will of the people. It's not reflective. It doesn't have the consent of the governed. It ought not to be there anymore. Get rid of the Senate. Get rid of the Senate. The Uvalde police stood around and did nothing and helped. The Uvalde police helped the gunman kill children by keeping anyone out who might interfere with his murder spree. The Uvalde police show everyone why the police must be defunded. We have to defund the police. They do not help. They do not keep us safe. They don't do anything. Get rid of the police. What will help? What will save us? Getting rid of guns. Guns are the number one cause of, are the number one factor in gun death. The more guns in the country, the more gun deaths. If you don't get rid of the guns, you'll never get rid of the gun deaths. Right? Unless you super regulate like they do in Switzerland. But you got to regulate, and you don't want to regulate. Well, maybe you do, but the Senate doesn't want to regulate. That's what I got to say. The majority of people want regulation. The majority of people want something done, but the Senate is blocking it. We should get rid of the Senate. We should get rid of the Senate. Senate is in the way. The Senate has outlived its usefulness as an institution. Supreme Court must be expanded to undo the corruptive influence of all those corrupt judges that are on the Supreme Court right now. I mean, I'm telling you what we need to do. I'm giving you solutions. Like, it's an ugly picture out there. It looks bad. But I'm telling you, this is what I mean. Like, we know it's not like we don't know the answers. It's not like it's a mystery. We know exactly what needs to be done. Yeah, I did that one. I did that one. This one here. Giving or receiving gifts. Yeah, so in Georgia, it's illegal to bribe people to vote for you. So, like last year, the Georgia police came down to a voter registration drive where they were giving out food and drink, and they said no, you can't give out food or drink because you're bribing people. This year, Republicans are giving out gas vouchers, saying, here, vote for me, have a gas voucher. That's totally against the law. That's totally against this law. But the police are not going to enforce it against the Republicans because it's white supremacists. Defund the police. Once upon a time in the 1950s, a family could own a home, a car, and send their kids to college all on one income. And then we cut taxes on the rich, and the middle class died. Tax the rich. Almost all extremist-related murders were committed by right-wing extremists. In 2021. Who are the people that do not want to get rid of firearms? Right-wing extremists. Right-wing terror incidents by movement. White supremacists. Anti-government extremists. So almost all the terror in the United States is coming from the right wing. That's why I'm saying get ready. When I'm saying when these guys are calling out, that's who Steve Bannon. That's who he's calling to. When he says get ready, guys. He's calling to the right wing extremists to attack. That's his shadow army. Because they're not on paper. He can't write down a record. He can't like get them all together in one room. They're a shadow army throughout the United States that he's talking to. And they're the ones who do the terror attacks. And they're also the ones who don't want to get rid of guns. Do you understand why? Are you starting to get the picture of why white supremacy and guns are connected? Are you seeing it? Okay. What's that one? Oh, yeah, here. In 2020, the Secretary of State sent an investigator to one of the precincts in my district, with a firearm on hip, and demanded all food and water be removed. Giving away gas vouchers and Herschel Walker's flyers at the same time isn't legal. Are they going to do something about it? No, because it's white supremacist. Herschel Walker supports white supremacy, so he can break the law. But this person up here, Bean Nguyen, does not support white supremacy. Therefore, the state of Georgia is opposed to her because it's controlled by white supremacists. Do you see it? It's very clear. Very, very clear. Finally. Yeah. Putin treated for advanced cancer in April and an assassination attempt in March. So what this means is that Putin is in a bad position. He's not in a strong spot. Like, people are trying to take him out, and his health is failing. He's not strong. I don't know if he'll last a year. Also, this kind of weakens Russia's nuclear deterrent, because less people are going to be willing to start the end of the world if Putin is like dying and being taken out anyways. Like, if he gives the order to nuke, maybe people won't follow it because he's like, oh, I don't know about you anymore. Let's hope. In any case, the West should supply more, jets, jets to Ukraine. Give them jets. They need jets, and just give Ukraine more stuff. The point isn't to destroy Russia. The point is to topple the Putin regime, so that the people can choose a ruler for themselves. Right now in Russia, they get arrested for holding blank signs. People in Russia have no freedom. They have no freedom. But you can't, like, the United States, I hope, has learned that it's impossible to invade a country and bring freedom. You cannot do that. You cannot invade a country to bring freedom. It's impossible. It's oxymoron. You can't do it. You can't do it. All we can do is hope that the people of Russia rise up and throw out the corrupt oligarchs and create a better world for themselves. And in doing so, they'll create a better world for everyone else. Like, if the Russian people free themselves, that's the best case scenario. The Russian people can't be free from an external invasion. It's got to come from Russia. And I hope that's what you guys do, because Putin is obviously on his last legs. I don't think he'll last a year. So just as the Nazis are calling to their shadow army, I'm calling to, like, all the good people out there to organize, to meet with your neighbors, and to foresee a better world, because we can do it. It's going to be ugly until then. I mean, it's not going to be easy to get there, but we can do it. There's a path available. Okay, America. Until next time. Peace. Pogo Kiddo out. Stop.